comedy icon is in our studio right now. We're talking about Carol Burnett. For years, her show, The Carol Burnett Show, just made people all across the country laugh. Well, now she's chosen the funniest moments from the years of that show, and she's going to share some of them with us in just a couple of minutes.
All right.
And we're back now at 8:45 with the legendary Carol Burnett. Her beloved Carol Burnett Show debuted in 1967, ran for 11 years, and get this, won 25 Emmy Awards. Now a new DVD box collection is highlighting some of Carol's favorite episodes. Take a look. From her signature Tarzan yell to her way with an entrance.
How come you never made it in talking pictures?
Carol Burnett won the hearts and funny bones of America with her long-running variety show, The Carol Burnett Show. The acclaimed series featured a talented cast, special guest stars,
Finally get to see you with your clothes on.
and Burnett's unforgettable characters.
Your little baby daughter is on the verge of a nervous breakdown.
Establishing her as one of Hollywood's greatest comedic talents. And Carol Burnett joins us live in the studio. Carol, it's great to see you again. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
11 years, how do you sit down and come up with your favorites? I mean, you could have put all those 11 years in.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have a good memory, and so there are some shows that aren't all wonderful, but there might be 2 or 3 segments in it that stand out that I remember.
Were you a good judge of what was funny before it got on the air? In other words, when you saw things on a piece of paper, did you say the audience is going to love that? Or was it based on what happened?
It really, most of the time, based on what happened. I remember 100 years ago when I was on the Gary Moore show, we had a guest. He was Ed Wynn. Do you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Vaudevillian,
yeah, exactly.
Brilliant comedian, and we were all asking him about comedy and so forth, and he said, "There's a difference between a comic and a comedian." What? He said, "A comic says funny things, and a comedian says things funny."
That's a good distinction.
Yeah, in other words, Bob Hope was a comic. Jack Benny was a comedian. He said things funny.
One of the things that I used to love watching the show, and I know I will when I see these highlights, is when for Harvey Korman, for example, when you would get in a sketch with him, so often you two would crack each other up. It wasn't part of the script. It would just happen.
And no, actually, it was Tim Conway. His goal in life was to destroy Harvey.
So did he have a trigger? In other words, was there something you or Tim could do that you knew would get Harvey Korman to laugh?
I didn't get him to laugh that much, but Tim did. What would happen would be we would do 2 shows on a Friday, and Tim would do the show to the ink, just as we rehearsed it. And then we'd tape it, and the director would get all the shots, and then Tim would say, "Okay, now I'm going to
have some fun."
And he would get on a roll, and Harvey never knew what was. So finally, it got to be whenever there was what we called a Tim and Harvey sketch, all Tim would have to do would look at Harvey and go,
that little raised eyebrow, and he'd go.
Harvey would go, and Harvey was so ticked off at himself because he was a consummate actor.
Most of it was so wholesome, and I was thinking, knowing that I was going to have you on this morning, a lot of comedy these days is pretty raunchy.
Yeah.
And it cuts way across a line. Do you appreciate it? Do you know? Does it make you laugh?
So if it's within a character, if it's the character talking that way and that comes out of the character, then I'll go with it. But if it's just gratuitous blue material, that's the easiest way to get a laugh.
Yeah. Do you think anybody out there is doing the kind of physical comedy that you used to do?
Physical? I don't know of anyone that does that. My neck still talks to me today.
The chiropractor.
Yeah.
Well, you used to end your show all the time. You used to do the little ear tug. And that was for your grandmother.
That was for my
by the
name.
way.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a better way that we could end this segment if you'd do it for me. It was that or the Tarzan call. And I decided to go with the ear tug.
Okay. Hi.
It's always nice. Love having you here.
Thank you,
Please
Matt.
stop by more often.
We will.
And you're going to stick around to help out on Take 3 in a couple of minutes. But
Okay.
first, this is Today on NBC.
Angelina Jolie moment? Are we going to see this forever, do you think?
I think so. It's not going anywhere. I mean, obviously, Angelina started it, and we've seen it. This isn't the first time we've seen it.
During the Emmys, you could hear that knocking song. It was the sound of Seal banging his head against the wall. What the heck was I thinking?
I think you call this a revenge dress.
Could be a revenge look all around.
Right.
Wow. So now, when you went to the Emmys, would you wear something like that?
Well, you know, there's enough violence in the world without me trying to show off like that, I think. So.
But things have really changed, though.
Oh, no, I could do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
there we go. I think you just beat Angelina Jolie to the punch
Well,
there.
I shaved
on
my
that
legs
one.
this morning, so
See.
Happy to know that. Okay.
Working. I mean, there was a grind for that show. I mean, you guys didn't probably get a chance to eat almost.
Oh, no. Actually, we did it like a live show. We rehearsed all week. Then we did 2 shows on Friday, and we were out in time to have dinner. And one time I was asked to figure out how many hours a week I worked. 30
30
not
hours
bad.
a week?
a week.
Wow.
That's like a part-time job.
Yeah, that's
And
yeah,
we had
I
it
was gonna
down,
say.
you know, so we never did retakes. I mean, that's why.
So you were that
Everything
quick,
was
you
so
were that
crazy.
good.
We don't have to do that here either.
I see.
What do you think about Lady Gaga, though? Have you seen it done before?
I love her. I think she's great. I think
Original?
she's very talented. Yeah, very talented. I love her voice. I love her playing, or all of it. Yeah,
You know
I
what?
think she's great.
What I think is you know, honestly, we make so much ado about all of these celebrities when they gain weight, when they lose weight. I mean, the reality is the American woman fluctuates in weight all the time.
Absolutely.
So.
As does the American guy.
As is the American guy. I mean, but we're getting pregnant, having babies, and you're going to put on the weight and take it off eventually, or gain even more.
Your show had one of the classic theme songs
Yes.
ever. I
Yeah.
mean, we love that song. Well, you know, you don't hear TV theme songs anymore.
Well, don't you?
Not really.
Not really good
Well,
ones like
yeah.
yours. I mean, you kind
Well,
of knew
we
what to
sang
expect.
ours too. You know, I sang it, and I don't know how many did that.
Did you have input into it?
The song?
Yeah.
No, my husband wrote it. He was a special material writer before he became a producer. At the time, yeah, he wrote the song.
Oh, nice.
That's wonderful.
There it is.
And that's kind of what we're doing. We're doing our favorite TV theme songs.
Yeah.
So Jason, what's yours?
I'm still in the moment.